Bolt up!
Hey, shout out to NFL Mike because we just did a whole show for you guys. We've been here for 2 hours cutting it up. And, everybody, that's the show for y'all. Have a good night. Thanks for coming through. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Welcome, guys. I got a very special guest for you all tonight. One of my personal favorites, if not my personal favorite. TikTok sensation. Get him to 100K. NFL Mike.
Mike!
How we doing tonight?
TikTok doesn't want to see me winning, Dalton. They haven't gotten me to 100K yet.
Well, we're going to get you there. We're going to get you there. We're going to help. We're going to do what we can. I'm
with it.
NFL Mike is a true TikTok legend. He helped us start out, so we're very, very appreciative for that and all that he does for us. NFL Mike is a true NFL expert, so we're going to get the NBA shit out of the way early. Sorry, Jay, I say NBA shit because I'm not a big NBA fan either.
No, it's fine. It has gone that way since Kobe died. Rest in peace.
R.I.P., that's true. But we're going to talk about actually one of Jay and I's favorite, but we'll let you take it first, Mike. The Honey Badger got his new home. How you feeling about this look?
Hey, we all saw it coming, right? They've been talking about it for a little while now. It's pretty pumped for it. It's a good fit for the Badger because the Saints do need help at safety. All they had there was Marcus May. You need more than one safety on the team to have a good defense. Now you got two, and depth guys can actually be depth guys. They don't have to do a lot of playing as a starter, as a depth guy. So pretty pumped. Honey Badger finally signed. He's going back home as well, so he's familiar with the area, familiar with the city, familiar with the fans, and they're all familiar with him. I think this is a perfect situation for him, and I'm just very, very thankful that this man did not go to the Raiders or the Chiefs or the Broncos or any AFC team for that matter. Every single free agent needs to start going to NFC teams, please. And for the Saints now, when you look at their defense, they're pretty set at safety. They got Marcus May and Honey Badger. You look at the cornerback room. They've got Marshawn Lattimore, obviously heading that room. You look at the linebacker. They got Demario Davis, and they got DeMarco Jackson in the draft. Look at the D-line. Cam Jordan. There is a player, a seriously good player, at every level of the Saints defense. They're going to be good again next year like they were last year. Hopefully Jameis can stay healthy. This Saints team is going to be a wild card team. It's going to be a wild card team.
Do you have a record prediction for them? Because I do like Winston too. But give us kind of a record prediction.
Yeah, we'll see when the schedule comes out. I'll hammer down record predictions, but I'm saying anywhere from 10 to 12 wins.
Woo!
I'd be surprised if they lost. If they had a losing season, I think they're definitely going to be above 500.
Do you think that losing Sean Payton does anything?
Well, yeah.
In a way,
it does a lot. It does a lot, but they got enough talent on this roster to make it happen. And the guy that took over, Dennis Allen, he's been around this operation for a very long time. It's not like they got someone new in there that we have no idea what's coming. It's going to be the same Saints team. It's going to be the same.
Hey, wish list. We appreciate that. We appreciate you for coming through.
Yes, sir.
Jay, your cousin, did you get any inside scoop before us about where he was going?
I did actually. I was live at SoFi Thursday for the draft, and I was with Sargent. We know Sargent very well. Some people on the show call him Kobe White. He was saying that my cousin, Tyrann Mathieu, was going to the Rams. He was saying it all day, and I was like, you got the wrong LA. He's going to LA, but he's going back home to our home, Louisiana. He's going back to New Orleans. And I'm super hyped for him, actually, because, I'm not a Saints fan by any stretch of the means. I would love to see him go to the Rams. I'd love to see him go to the Chargers. I'd love to see him be in LA, in our LA, where I'm at now. But, I'm happy for him that he's in the Saints because he's back home and gets to do what he does for his last, you can say, the last stretch of his prime, really. Yeah. I don't know if the Saints are going to really go to his championship game. I don't know if they'd even make it to an NFC championship game. I think they make a wild card spot, maybe in the NFC. And they have, like Mike said, a winning record. I think they go about one game over 500 probably or something like that. We'll have to see. It's really not about Tyrann Mathieu, though. It's about Jameis Winston and what they can do at the quarterback position. Because Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston, they got that one last shot, it looks like. Let's see what they do with it. I think the defense will be locked down this year for New Orleans. But I don't know if they're going to win that many games. We got to see how the offense does. But, yeah, I'm happy for my cousin, thow. I'm going to be I might have to get a jersey, but I probably won't because I'm going to get a Charger jersey. Bolts up, baby.
Brutally honest, right? I think, honestly, I agree with what you said, Jay. I like what you said about that last stretch of his career, like his last hoorah. He's definitely, getting to that phase. So to go play with Marcus May and Marshawn Lattimore, I think is really beneficial to him because he's in a strong secondary where, he's not the only threat. But like Mike and I just talked about, losing Sean Payton really doesn't help. We saw how much of losing a QB last year did for them. Yes, Jameis Winston was good for a while. I don't think that would have continued at the same trajectory that it did, but I think Jameis Winston could have easily got them, like to Mike is saying, a 9-10 win team. I could easily see that, especially with that defense. So adding Mathieu into the mix really shakes things up. And I don't know. I like this signing a lot. Of course, I wanted him for my Eagles, but I really, really like this signing a lot as a fan of Mathieu. And it's good to see him go home. Honey Badger goes home.
I like it. Tyrann Mathieu, man. Look, it's like I'm looking at myself, man. My cousin's right here, just, good to see family win. That's all I'm saying.
Should have came to the Chargers. Should have came to the Chargers.
I wanted him to go to the Chargers. You know that, Mike. I would have bought his jersey. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm probably just gonna buy like a custom jersey with my name, my number. But if he would have went there, I guarantee you, I'd have got a 32 Mathieu jersey. I would have copped it ASAP, day of.
Now we got JT Woods. We don't need him anyways.
Yeah, JT Woods is probably better. Honestly, he's really good.
Exactly.
All right, Jay. We got to get this out of the way early. That
stupid NBA, stupid Doc Rivers.
You already know who I'm rocking out with for the Beast in the East. I'll just take it real quick.
The guy who's not playing?
It's 80-72 right now currently. That's not looking good for my Philadelphia 76ers, but hey, there's a little song I like, Jay, and it goes, "'Cause you gotta have faith. Ooh, you gotta have faith," or some shit like that. So I have faith. Not really, though. I don't have faith, but I don't know. Doc Rivers, at least you'll get fired after this, right? That's the plus. That's the plus side. For everybody that's on my TikTok, come through. Live right now on Up for Debate podcast. Not sure, Jay, are you live on our TikTok over there or no?
I can.
Okay, bet. Jay will be live on our TikTok, so you can go watch him. You can go watch me wherever you want to watch. You can watch NFL Mike. He's live. But anyway, Beast of the East, Philadelphia 76ers are going to go to the championship this year. Not really, though. My real pick is probably the Bucks. Like Mike said earlier, they've looked unstoppable. And, I mean, look at this guy. He has the answer ready right now. He's locked, loaded. I'll kick it to you, Mike. It's very obvious who you're rocking with.
It's pretty clear who I'm rocking with, right? Because I got the Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey on, and that's because this man is turning into Superman right before our very eyes. Did you guys watch any of that game one versus the Celtics?
I watched the fourth quarter.
Was they them, and they just took down the Nets with ease, and then they just got babied by one player. Chris Middleton wasn't even playing the game. They got babied by 34 and no one else. Crown your new king, Giannis Antetokounmpo, of course, once LeBron retires. But you got LeBron, and then he's going to hand over the crown to Giannis, and Giannis is going to win another championship this year, I think.
I really hope not. I really hope not. What do you think, Jay?
Dog, I don't know if you guys were watching this, but they were talking about bus riders and bus drivers. And I'm sorry to say this, Mike. We talked about this off the air here. I love LeBron James, one of my favorite players. There's only 5 bus drivers in the history of the NBA. It's Michael Jordan, it's Kobe Bryant, it's Tim Duncan, it's Dirk Nowitzki, and it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. The only guys that didn't need to switch teams to win the championship. The only guys that didn't need is form these super teams and bring these guys and recruit these guys. Giannis did it on his own, and Giannis is doing. You seen what Mike just said? Yes, you have a top 10 point guard, maybe a top 5 point guard in Jrue Holiday, who's a lockdown defender who can get buckets. But outside Jrue Holiday, what do you have out there? Bobby Portis shooting threes? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a big man as a three-point shooter. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the NBA right now, hands down. Probably the best player of our generation. Honestly, if you look at what he can do on the court, he does everything offensively, defensively. And we were talking out there. Sorry, Mike, again. But he doesn't complain, doesn't whine. Things don't go his way. What does he do? He gets back on defense, gets a block, gets a steal, and goes back, gets a fast break bucket. I love this guy, man. I think Giannis, he's going to run the tables. I think he's going back to the finals. It's either him or whoever wins the Sixers Heat series, because I think the Celtics are getting swept by the Bucks 4-0. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be that close, honestly.
Yeah, it's not. It's going to be, I think whoever plays the Bucks, you're right, they're going to just get swept Like, I'm honestly, as a Sixers fan, like, I don't want to lose this series, of course, but I'm like, on the bright side, at least we don't have to get our hopes up to play the Bucks and then just get swept by the Bucks and, like, just be like, wow, okay, like, shit, we're really bad. Like, the bright side is at least we'll fire Glenn, get Doc Rivers the hell out of here.
Hey, well, I will say this, though, to maybe some optimism. If there's one guy that can somewhat kind of match up with Giannis, it's not going to be anyone the Celtics have. It's not anyone the Heat probably have. Bam Adebayo, not really there yet. Embiid's the only guy that can really match up with
Tyrese Maxey. Oh, wait, sorry. We were thinking of two different guys. My fault.
Oh, Tyrese Maxey would get cooked and just, like, beaten down in the post. Mouse in the house all day, give the ball in the block all day. He's not stopping him.
That's how Philly fans be right now. We be thinking that this guy's the next coming of Jesus, like Allen Iverson or some shit. He's good, but I hear some people that are like, he's the next Iverson. And I'm like, pump the brakes.
Barbecue chicken.
Yeah. And then Jay, you really are the one who told me about this. Can you tell us in a story detailed version in your best way, because you are a great storyteller, about what happened with Draymond's drama?
So this goes back to, I believe, 2016, where he low-blowed, I believe it was someone on the Cavs. It may have been LeBron James, the great LeBron James. But he low-blowed somebody. He got suspended from Game 5, and that's what ultimately cost them the series, right? Now, fast forward to the last game, Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors. Bones Highland low blows Otto Porter Jr., and there's no call on that play. I think it was actually a blocking foul. So Draymond Green's mad. If that was me, I would have got ejected. So now fast forward to, was it last night, where he goes to block Brandon Clark on a dunk attempt. He misses the block and smacks him in the face, accidental contact. And then he tries to go finish the layup. He tries to stop him the layup. And when he's falling down, he kind of tugs on his jersey and kind of holds him up. I thought it was a common foul. He missed the block. He obviously made contact. They said it was a windup, and flagrant 2 ejected him, which I don't think anyone agreed with the flagrant 2. Flagrant 1 I see because he did wind up a little bit for the block. I seen the same call, and I'm going to wrap this up, but I did see the same call live for the Suns game. It was a blowout. Devin Booker went up for a block, same thing on a dunk attempt. He missed the block, and again, I thought it was a common foul. The whole arena thought it was a common foul. They called it a flagrant 1 on Devin Booker. Everyone booed the refs. They were cussing him out. I don't understand if you miss a block, how is that a flagrant? But a flagrant 2 is ridiculous, dog. I don't understand how you call a flagrant 2 on him. And then he went out like AB, you know what I'm saying, pumping up the crowd as he exited. But yeah, makes no sense how that's a flagrant 2. You missed the block. I mean, perfect.
Yo, I don't know. I was muted because I was talking on TikTok, but I don't think you could hear me. But I really laughed out loud when you said that, AB. That was really good.
All that shit talking you've been doing, Draymond, it came up to bite your ass. Came up to bite him right in the ass. I don't have a whole 1 minute, 15 seconds on this. I'm glad Draymond got kicked out. He's the only Golden State Warriors player I don't like. I like the rest of them, the whole rest of the team.
No, that's pretty fair. I like that statement too. I mean, NFL Mike took the words out of my mouth. I'm going to not lie to you guys. Look at me. I don't watch a lot of basketball at all. Anyway, so like I was at work. I mean, I watched the Sixers, but the rest of the NBA I try to, the finals and then the semifinals, of course. And if I really like a player, and I do like Steph, but I'm not gonna lie, aren't we all used to the Warriors just winning and winning and winning and winning? I mean, look at this guy right here. He's ready. He's
Draymond.
That's Sean Green. That's not Draymond.
No, this is Draymond Green, number 14, baby. USA team, baby. Representing my country. Draymond Green, baby. All day.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't mind Draymond. It's just like, aren't we used to the Warriors always freaking winning and winning and winning and winning? So, like, what I'm like at, like, with the Warriors is like when they're on, I don't really watch them. I heard like earlier, Steph Curry's having like the lowest shooting percentage of his career, free throw wise. So I don't know. I didn't really hear much what happened, but at the end of the day, I gotta say for Draymond, stop talking shit. Like Mike said, this guy does so much shit talking, and like he has his podcast, he's talking shit. Maybe it's time to retire for Draymond. Draymond seems to be better at talking shit than playing basketball. So maybe that's a new career for him. And Draymond, if you're hearing this and you're looking at me right now and you're pissed off about that, come on my podcast and talk some shit to me. We'll have it out.
Hey, Draymond, you're my favorite player. Come on the podcast, man. You top 5 favorite player from all time.
Jay will wear your jersey, and I'll talk shit with you and somehow get Embiid there. Mike can come too, and maybe we'll incorporate Giannis if those two, Embiid and Draymond, can figure that out.
Adult. they still won the game. Jesus.
Oh, and we'll finish this off with this. Everyone that's watched that game knew that the refs were against the Warriors so much that I actually, and I'm a California guy. I'm from that area. I was a Warriors fan growing up. I'll tell you this. I was kind of going for the Grizz because John Morant, one of my favorite players right now as well. At halftime, I'm like, there's no way I'm going for the Warriors because the refs cannot get away with this. Steph Curry should have fouled out Brooks early. They're calling blocks and everything. Every out-of-bounds play went the Grizzlies' way, even though it was obviously off the Grizzlies. Anyway, shout out to the Warriors. Shout out to Draymond. Y'all got it done. Regardless.
Real quick, Jay, I got a question.
I cannot blame anyone other than the Warriors. They tried to blow the game. Clay missed both free throws. Both.
Hey, but he played great. And I'm not going to defend Clay too much, but he played great help defense to prevent that game-winning layup on Ja.
That's true. And he hit the 3 to go ahead. So
yes.
With missing the free throws, he also helped win the game.
I love Clay, man.
What do you think, Jay, of Ja's dad dapping up Steph after the game? What do you think of that? Like, and Ja saying that I respond well to negative energy. And then Ja's dad after the game not going up to his son. You got to see this video. I'm going to make a video on it for up for debate.
I did see that. He went up to Steph and Clay, was giving them love, mad love.
Mad love before he goes up to his own damn son after losing a playoff game to Steph Curry.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen after they beat. I know Viv's seen this. After they beat the T-Wolves, he went right in their face and he just did this. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? He's calling Adam Silver and be like, hey, we need these refs in game 1 because we can't stand up to these Warriors.
Do you want a new star of your league or not?
Get the stripes on him.
Oh, here we go.
All right, now this is going to be fun. NFL Mike, I will let you take this one first, but the Malik Willis pick, I think it's fair to say, shocked a lot of people. Was he needed in Nashville?
I kind of see what the Titans are doing here. The Titans are going to run Derrick Henry into the ground. So hopefully Henry's gotten all the money that he wants to get because that is what is coming for the Titans. The next couple of years, next 2 years or so, is going to be just Derrick Henry pounding the rock. They don't got A.J. Brown no more in the passing game. They don't got Corey Davis in the passing game no more. And they also just picked up a rookie scrambling and running quarterback. Derrick Henry is going to have to do some work as this Titans team gets ready for a full-on rebuild after Derrick Henry's career is done. I like the pick. This is a good spot for Malik to go. I think that I wanted him to go to Pittsburgh because I thought that Mike Tomlin would do a really good job developing him as a quarterback. And I wanted to see Mike Tomlin with a more mobile QB. Kenny Pickett's mobile. He's not mobile, but not as mobile as Malik Willis obviously would have been for the Steelers. But this is a good pick. He needed to go to a team behind a veteran like Minnesota, like Tennessee, Indianapolis. All these spots would have been perfect for Malik because he does need a year to really develop his passing game. We know that he can run with the best of them in the league, but he needs to get his passing game up. That's the one thing Lamar did in his first 2 years in the league. He became a quarterback that can throw the ball when he needs to. He's not the best in the league, but you can't be the worst in the league at the same time. You're not going to be able to run the ball like crazy and be the worst passer in football. So Malik needs to focus on that while he's Tannehill's backup, then he'll be good.
Yeah, what do you think, Jay?
Well, I will agree with Mike that Malik Willis is so mobile, he might as well be from Mobile, Alabama. Like, he's a really mobile guy. But what I will say is the question is needed in Nashville. Now, this is what this reminds me of, dog. Because we play fantasy football. We're playing in this league. Wherever those are attrition, y'all follow that. September is going to be crazy. Anyway, all I'll say is, constellation champion right here. Anyway, all I'll say is he's not needed in Nashville. This draft pick reminds me of fantasy football. When you go ahead and you draft Justin Herbert in that first round, or you draft, you know what I'm saying, your star quarterback in that first or second round, and you have your guy, you know you have your quarterback, but then Russell Wilson or, you know, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers falls to you like in the 9th or 10th round, and you're just like, there's like 3 teams that really need a quarterback right now, like badly. I'm not going to let him fall to the next round for them to pick him up. I think this is more like almost of a defensive move, in their opinion, because I think there's teams that need quarterbacks that the Titans are like, hey, man, we have one that should have probably won the first round. At worst, the second round, he's still here for us. Let's go ahead and take him. Maybe he evolves and he's our guy, but at the very least, that's one quarterback that's not going to be on someone else's team for these next few years. So that's what I'm kind of seeing what's going to happen. I do assume in a few years that he will eventually take the starting spot if he does develop, or he's a bust and they just never play him. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe find a second home somewhere else that needs a quarterback, depending on how Tannehill plays and how long he plays, and depending on how Malik Willis develops in practice. But not needed in Nashville for sure. You had a guy that was doing just fine in Ryan Tannehill.
All right, I'm playing devil's advocate. Hell yeah, he was needed in Nashville. This guy's trash. He's ass. He was mediocre in Miami. That was when he was at his best in his career, and he's a subpar QB at best. Now look, people are going to take a lot of offense to this, but I feel, in my opinion, QBs that play like Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, these middle of the pack, deadly accurate as people say QBs, which they are, they're accurate. They don't win shit. They don't have that winning gene. So you can give me the most best game manager in the world and all this stuff. But if he doesn't have the winning gene, I don't want him out there as my quarterback. That's the key. So it's like you can put guys out there that can pad stats all season, but when you get down to where it really counts, that's where they aren't the QB that you think they are. Malik Willis is a winner. Malik Willis, I think, is going to pan out in the NFL if he's in the right situation. And I think if they are planning to groom Malik Willis for 2 years and then have Tannehill walk out, could be a good plan. Let Malik watch. He's young. He has a lot of the raw intangibles that you want in a QB. So, I mean, hey, I think he was needed. I think especially where they got him, you got to look at the future at some point, like somebody said earlier. So this was a very, very wise investment for me, for the Titans to go get him while he was there.
Hey, Dole, I got something to say really quick.
You good?
Because Ryan Tannehill, I know we're saying he's not a winner, but I mean realistically, the Titans should have been in the Super Bowl this year. Realistically, if the coach knew what he was doing, if Mike Vrabel wasn't the biggest idiot behind Brandon Staley this season, honestly, sorry, Mike, but literally blaming Ryan Tannehill for not winning that game against the Bengals to me is like blaming people on my TikTok right now, blaming Justin Herbert for not making the playoffs and losing to the Raiders in that last game. That was 100% on the coach making one stupid call that ruined the game for you. So yeah, I think you can't blame Ryan Tannehill for Mike Vrabel not running the ball in that situation. It's a stupid call. I guess you can blame Tannehill a little bit for not completing the pass. You can't blame Herbert though, because I mean he was on the sideline. But anyway, I think they should have been in the Super Bowl, and it wasn't Tannehill's fault. It was the coach's fault. If I was the owner of that, I love Mike Vrabel as a person, as a player, not a good head coach. Get him out of there. I couldn't stand that play. It was all his fault. So yeah, not Malik Willis would have done nothing different there. Give the ball to Derrick Henry. Sorry, my bro. Players can't be coaches. If you're a great player, you can't be a coach. Larry Bird couldn't be a coach. None of these guys can be What, Mike? I know you're a guru right now. Name one star player in any sport that went on to be a great head coach.
John Madden.
John Madden played football?
Fair answer.
Yes.
Wait, I got one too. Mike Ditka, right? Mike Ditka.
Mike Ditka.
All right, name a guy that's not from like the 50s, man.
That's the 80s.
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson. Yeah, he's back with quarterback.
Okay, but see, that's what I'm talking about. You could be don't get me wrong, you could be a backup. I'm talking about like Mike Vrabel is a Super Bowl winner.
He said name a coach, and then you named a coach, and then he said name another coach, and then you just named another coach, and then he said name a modern coach, and then you named a modern coach.
I'll give you Mike Ditka because I know back then I heard he was a beast at tight end, but I don't know what position. I don't know what position John Madden played, and I don't know nothing about Doug Peterson playing football. He said he was a backup. You could be a backup.
Yeah,
so
I mean, Vrabel was never a number one tight end on a team. To be fair, so
Vrabel, wasn't he like a star defensive player on like multiple
linebacker?
seasons?
Sorry, he wasn't number one linebacker on his team. That was always Teddy Bruschi. He was always the B player in that linebacker room.
He was on the field though.
He was in the field and he won Super Bowls with the Patriots.
Doug Peterson was probably on the sideline with Josh Rosen.
Who's Doug Peterson back up to again? I forget. He did play on the Eagles, I think, for a little bit of time too.
Kevin Cobb, McNabb. I don't know. One of the bad QBs that they had before McNabb, I think.
Must have been early McNabb days.
It was. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Mike, do you think that, like, Ryan – what do you think they do with Ryan Tannehill? Do they try to trade him now? Do they let Malik get groomed?
No, the Titans are going to go one more shot at it. The defense is going to be good again next year. The pass rush especially is going to be good again next year. They're going to take one more shot at it with Derrick Henry and try and run the same thing back. I think the play-action game is going to take a severe hit, losing A.J. Brown. But last year, A.J. Brown was gone for most of the season anyways, and they still got the number one seed. So the Titans probably are looking at it like, we're going to run this train into the ground, and then on the end of this whole Derrick Henry run that they're on right now, they'll have Malik Willis to start building around for their rebuild. That's probably what they're thinking. So Tannehill's got one more year at least, maybe two. I think however long Derrick Henry's running for them, Ryan Tannehill is going to be at quarterback. Unless Malik gets a shot because of an injury or something, and it's just phenomenal, and he just takes the spot. That's his best chance to get in there and be the starter in the next year or two.
Yeah,
you gotta remember these quarterbacks aren't ready. None of them were ready to just walk in and be Trevor Lawrence or last year, we had Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields, all starting in their rookie year. The year before that, Herbert, Burrow, Hurts, Tua, all starting in their rookie year. We don't have those guys in this class, so we're going to have to wait on them. Kenny Pickett's probably the closest just because of his situation, but Mitch is probably going to start there.
Hey, side note, I know we're moving on. I want to take back, you could be a player and a good coach in general. I mean, I coach in general, but I will say this, Mike Babel, you're not one of those guys. You suck. Please never switch the team up again. And talking about that, Doc Rivers played for the Atlanta Hawks way back in the day. He sucks as a coach. Get him out of there because the Hawks are somehow, the Sixers are somehow down by 21 right now. How is this even possible in a playoff game? You're down by 21. How is that even possible? How can you suck that bad, Doc Rivers?
Not just the playoff game, freaking Eastern Conference semi-playoff game.
Yeah, and freaking Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, PJ Tucker all hurt. Kyle Lowry's not even playing. Half their team is injured, and you guys are down by 21.
I don't want to talk about it anymore, Mike or Jay.
Pathetic.
You could be a Lakers fan like us.
Yeah, you could be a Lakers fan like us, dog.
I don't know. It's
wait, aren't you a Clippers fan?
I'm gonna be a Clippers fan in August.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for it,
What I want to do with this is talk about some of the draft. There were a lot of steals, a lot of reaches. I want each of us real quick to go around, and then we're actually going to do a tier of each draft. But I want each of us real quick to give one guy that was a reach and one guy that was a steal, in your opinion. And we'll kick it off with our guest first, NFL Mike.
Okay, well, the biggest reach, and I'm just going to take this one right off the board right now, so you guys better start thinking of other names. Cole Strange was the biggest reach of the draft. That was insane. Even though it's Bill Belichick, even though it's the Patriots, and you kind of just got to let them go ahead and go to the tune of their beat, it's still an insane reach. This guy was consensus ranked outside the top 75. That is mid-third round. He got drafted in the first round with the first pick to a franchise that is known for being historically great. So that is the biggest reach of the draft. Now, whether or not it was a good reach or a bad reach, we're going to find out, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I can guarantee that it was a bad reach, because I know that Bill Belichick has a plan for Cole Strange, and he's going to use Cole Strange. For all we know, we could flash forward 3 years, and Cole Strange is one of the best offensive linemen in the league, and we're all just like, there goes Bill Belichick. There goes that man doing his thing again, reaching on players that he likes, even though he could have drafted them at least in the second round or the third round. Instead, he uses the first round pick on them. They also reached on their second round pick. They drafted wide receiver Tyquan Thornton, who is the speed demon, ran the fastest 40 time, obviously, is what he's known for. But the rest of his game is still not very polished, and he was expected to be like a third or fourth round pick also, and they got him in the second round. So 2 reaches in a row for the Patriots, but the Cole Strange one was big. I'm going to give a shout out to the Patriots since I'm wearing Milwaukee.
Jay, did you have anybody in your opinion that was a reach or steal?
Oh, yes. I have plenty of them, actually. First of all, I'm not going to go too much into this one, but Bailey Zapp, another Patriots blunder. Sam Howell was available if they wanted a quarterback, but I heard people on my TikTok again were saying Bailey Zapp might be the best quarterback in this draft, and Bill Belichick's a genius, and maybe he is. So I respect that. If he turns out to be a franchise guy that's just a baller, I respect it. Bailey Zapp, shout out to you. Best college football career or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, side note, that's what I'm talking about. The biggest reach, in my opinion, because I don't care about Cole Strange. I don't care about Kyron Williams. I don't care about Bailey Zapp, because they all went somewhat later in the draft. You know what I care about? Derek Stingley Jr. went at number 3 over Kayvon Thibodeau, over Evan Neal. Look how bad a pick this was. I was going to SoFi. I was driving with my friend. He's a big Chargers fan. My entire life that I've known him, he's been a big Chargers fan. And he was telling me, I was like, he said, who do you think we should get? I was like, man, honestly, I think we'll probably end up getting Derek Stingley Jr. Maybe he turns out to be something good. He was like, hell no, we're not getting that guy, man. Hell, we have to get Jordan Davis or a lineman. We can't get Derek Stingley. He's not worth it at 17. Maybe we trade back and get Stingley at somewhere in the 20s. And I was like, okay, if we can trade back, I'll take Stingley or Jordan Davis available. That's who we're looking at. So if we weren't happy with Derek Stingley Jr. at 17 on a competitive team, Who the hell would want him at 3 on a rebuilding team that needs every other position? They need every other position, and you take Derek Stingley Jr., you take a gamble at a corner at pick 3. That's the biggest reach to me, I think, in all the history of me watching the NFL draft.
No, that I don't know. I think Stingley was really good, but I thought that they were going to take somebody like Thibodeau, or however you say it. Everybody always says to mispronounce it. Thibodeau. I thought that would have been a huge, huge pick for them. So I don't know. It feels like it was a miss to me. At the end of the day, the biggest reach for me, Trayvon Walker. This guy, 2 months ago, was said to be a second-round pick, late first-round pick, and now he's like the first overall pick in the first 3 weeks. I think we're going to look back on this draft in the next 5-10 years and be like, oh, yeah, the Jaguars should have taken Aiden Hutchinson over Walker. That would have been a good pick. And it's nothing against Walker. I just think that the situation Walker's in, being in the Jaguars, people joke and they say that's where your career goes to die. They're not wrong. But also, it's just going to be for Hutchinson. I think he's just far more NFL ready. Like Mike was saying earlier about being NFL ready, I think Hutchinson is more NFL ready, has a higher ceiling and floor, everything. It's just a clean slate. So it seems like a clean slate to me. Some of the biggest steals, of course, for me was Nakobe Dean as a Birds fan. Getting him in the 3rd round at 83 was huge. I love that pick, and he's going to come in and be the quarterback of this defense for a long time for my Eagles. And Kyle Hamilton was one of the biggest steals, if not the biggest steal of the draft. Shout out to the Baltimore Ravens for getting him here. He's a top 3 or 4 player in the draft. And then they also get another top 3 or 4 player in the draft, in my opinion, Tyler Linbaum, a generational center. So the Ravens won the draft. Eagles got 2nd. Jets got 3rd. And I'm probably biased, and it should probably be Ravens, Jets, Eagles. But it is what it is.
Don't sleep on the Giants, too, man. They got Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. Those should have been the first 2 picks off the board.
They did, and that actually gets us into our next topic. Thank you. Which is, did you guys have a draft winner or anybody that you guys would say won the draft if you had to pick one team, or maybe rank your top 3 teams in order? I like that. What do you think, Jay? I'll let you take it first.
For sure. Well, I had Sargent literally on the phone with me before I got on the show saying the Rams won the draft because they got the best running back in the draft. With that guy Williams, whatever, Kyron Williams, something like that. These are one of the best corners, 6'2" corner. I'm not going to say the Rams won the draft, though, although because I don't even think the guy might not make the team. I don't know if all this hype is real. You guys can let me know what you guys think. Contrary to what he was telling me about the Rams, I'm going to say the Giants won the draft. I'm going to say the Jets had a really solid draft. And I have to take the Eagles as my 3rd team. They did pass up on Kyle Hamilton, but they did get Nakobe Dean and A.J. Brown, technically, with their 18th pick. And A.J. Brown's better than he probably got picked on any of the other teams that we're talking about, honestly. So I have to say that those are the 3 teams. The Giants got Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. Stole those. Those should have been 1 and 2. They got them at 5 and 7. The Jets just had a million picks. They got Jermaine Johnson. They got Sauce Gardner. They got Garrett Wills. They got anyone who they really wanted at that point. And then the Eagles got A.J. Brown. So those are my 3 winners. Kyle Hamilton, of course, was a steal. Great job by the Ravens. Chargers got Zion Johnson and J.T. Woods. Great draft by the Chargers. But yeah, I'm gonna go with those 3.
All right, I like those 3. That's probably I would pretty much agree. What do you think, Mike?
First of all, a call back to the last topic. The biggest steal of the 2022 draft is undoubtedly, go ahead and clip it, save it, come back and be like, wow, NFL Mike was a genius when he said these words. The biggest steal was Jermaine Johnson at pick 26 to the New York Jets. That was the biggest steal of this draft. That guy was a top 10 talent in this draft. He went at 26 overall to a team that already picked up 2 top 10 talents in the draft at that point. That was the biggest steal. I think that the Ravens won the draft just because I feel like they landed just about every single pick. They got Kyle Hamilton at 14. Perfect spot, perfect fit. That was my favorite pick of the entire NFL draft. They got Tyler Linderbaum at 25, a guy that they needed inside to replace the guys that they've been losing. He's going to be young. He's going to be on this team forever. David Ajobu at the 13th pick of the 2nd round. This guy was a top 15 pick before he got hurt. He's going to come back healthy, and this Ravens defense is going to be insane before he even gets there and gets slotted into the lineup. They also got Travis Jones in round 3. They also got a starter caliber tackle in round 4 in Daniel Falele. They also got Jordan Stout, the best punter available in the draft. Isaiah Likely, who's going to be a great number 2 receiving option in the tight end room. Wah to the Ravens draft class. Ravens, Jets, Eagles. That's in order.
Yep, Mike, you literally took the words right out of my mouth. Ravens, Jets, Eagles. And that's my unbiased, true opinion. Because look at it. The Ravens got Kyle Hamilton, Linderbaum, Ojabu, and a couple other guys who are pretty good. I don't even know them off the top of my head. But no disrespect to them. They're all great players. The Ravens cleaned up this draft. And really, really, I feel like put Lamar Jackson in a good position. Marquise Brown walks away, but he really didn't do much for the Ravens. The Jets, Jermaine Johnson, Sauce Gardner, and freaking Garrett Wilson. That's a really good draft, guys. And then the Eagles to walk away with A.J. Brown and Jordan Davis. The Eagles could have done a little bit better if they would have drafted Kyle Hamilton, in my opinion, because safety is a need, whereas D-tackle, we already have Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave. If we would have taken Kyle Hamilton and truly went for the NFC next year, because, I mean, Devontae Adams is out of the NFC. Who's really going to – Russell Wilson is out of the NFC. Who's really going to stop us besides Brady in the NFC? And we're Brady's kryptonite. So the Eagles, I think, personally, really should have made more of a push to go for the division this year. Now, obviously, Matthew's off the board, but it goes Ravens, Jets, Eagles in that order for sure.
Yeah, and it's a lot of the A.J. Brown acquisition. A lot of people are underrating that. You guys got him for free.
Yeah, true. That did not cost us a thing. That was mainly just A.J. Brown.
All you did was just take the cap hit from the Titans and give him a 3rd-round pick. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, side note, before I move on to this, I just want you to know the backups for the Miami Heat, number 77, can't pronounce his last name, and some other random guys I've never seen before are dominating the Sixers right now. It's unbelievable.
Power button. Also, don't forget the Eagles got Cam Jurgens, too.
Yes, Beef Jerky.
Oh, and they released Herbig. Did you see that, dog?
Huh?
They released Herbig.
They did?
Today. Yeah, he's released.
Wow.
They got Jason Kelsey's backup and his relief, and they got Fletcher Cox's relief. Jordan Davis, Cam Jurgens. They're preparing for the future.
They are. I'm really, really happy to see it. One thing, though, I'm not happy to see. Hold on. DeAndre Hopkins getting disqualified for what, 6 games?
Yeah.
For what, PEDs?
Yeah. That was it, actually. Exactly it. Oh, we all got jerseys on, except for you, Jay.
Oh, is that right? Let me put my Draymond Green shirt on real quick. You know?
I'm very disappointed, Hop.
I'm
very disappointed. It made me really sad. You're one of my favorite players in the NFL, and to hear this, not a fan. I know you're battling coming back from an NFL injury, and I know that, being an NFL player is something only an NFL player understands. But damn, this really hurt to hear. And that's a huge loss, obviously, for the Cardinals next year. You got Kyler Murray's primary target. The guy that I think really opens up Marquise Brown and makes him Marquise Brown is gone for 6 games in, a division that's already pretty much won by the Rams. Luckily, the NFC sucks, so maybe the Cardinals can make a push, but not a good look for the Cardinals. What are you thinking, Mike?
Yeah, the Cardinals last year, they were undefeated with DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins gets hurt, and now they can't beat nobody. And I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that adds up. They were beating teams even with Colt McCoy at quarterback as long as DeAndre Hopkins was on the field. He is a threat out wide. He shifts the entire coverage over to his side of the field so everyone else can eat. This is an unfortunate situation because my theory is that what happened here, and I don't know because I'm not close to the situation, but it happens to a lot of players who get hurt. On your road to recovery, their trainers, the people around them are telling them all these different things that you can take to increase your recovery time, to speed up your recovery time. Sometimes players will take those medications or take whatever it is that they're given, substances that they're given to try and heal quicker, to get out there for their team quicker. And that leads to them testing positive for something that they didn't even know was illegal usually. So, and there's really no warning system in the NFL. If you pop for something, they're going to suspend you. It's crazy you got suspended for 6 games. It must be something like serious, or he has another offense that we don't know about from his past. But yeah, this is sad news. It's almost half the season.
Yeah, big loss for the Arizona Cardinals. What are you thinking, Jay?
Well, I put on a jersey per Mike's request. I wasn't going to put this one on because it kind of fits the occasion. The Cardinals are here. But I will say this, man. You know, you lose your wide receiver one and Christian Kirk to big money in Jacksonville. And now you lose probably, I would say, for a long time, the best wide receiver in football. Now I would say he's a 3 or 4, probably maybe 4 behind Tyreek, Kupp, and Devontae. But you're losing now a top 4 wide receiver alongside with Christian Kirk, who you lost. Who do you really have now? They picked up Hollywood Brown for a first-round draft pick. I mean, but what are you looking at? Andy Isabella and Hollywood Brown are going to be your wide receiver corps now? Are you serious? They just had Kirk and D-Hop last year. They still couldn't do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they were honestly they were like they won like 7 straight games or whatever with those guys. But yeah, that's probably the biggest drop off in wide receiver core. I mean, I know MVS and D-Hop and Devontae are out in Green Bay, but wow, like this is big because the Cardinals really, I think they really believe, their fans really believe that they could have made a push to win the division this year and somehow get the best of the Rams. But without Kirk, without D-Hop, I don't see it happening. I think the Rams are going to like just steamroll this division. There's no one else really in this division that's doing anything. So, yeah, man. There's a comment here that said that he didn't even know that he tested positive, and he doesn't even know how it could have happened because he didn't know of him taking anything. So that sucks, man. Like Mike said, if it pops up positive, you know, whether I don't know if it's a false positive, I don't know really what's going on, but at the end of the day, it is a positive, and he has to be suspended now for 6 games. That's going to really hurt the Cardinals.
I definitely couldn't.
Yeah, once he tests positive, they're going to go and retest him again to make sure. He popped twice. It's confirmed. I just guarantee you that it's something that he took for recovery. He didn't take it to try and like get an edge against other players, like performance enhancing drugs sound like. This is not a Barry Bonds situation. This guy,
you know, when you're that tall, that athletic, that aggressive, that good hands, you don't need PEDs. You know what I'm saying?
He's been in the league for 10 years and has not had anything, not a single character or drug issue.
He lost 5 Buffalo Bills after a 60-yard pass to win a game. He don't need PEDs after you do something like that.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, and it happens. It's unfortunate, and it sucks because, no offense, D-Hop, but we're kind of on the back end of the prime right now, so we're just wasting time basically by doing this.
Dang! Shout out to Drake and Brent Fayez.
And I don't think it's as much his fault, like you said, Mike. I think it's just bad situation.
Bad luck.
Hey,
Speaking of situations, what?
Oh, AJ Brown.
No. Go ahead. What were you saying, Jay?
I just want to say really quick. I had to throw the Seahawks jersey because Mike probably was like, "Why are you throwing a Seahawks jersey? It has nothing to do with what we're talking about." Seahawks had, in my opinion, a top 5, if not a top 6 draft this year. They got a bunch of steals. They had 2 players that I really wanted to go to the Chargers here, and Kobe Bryant and Woolen. They had a great draft. They got Mafe. They really got everybody that I was really wanting the Chargers to drop and get in later rounds. And then, of course, their first-round pick at 9, obviously. It's a 9th pick. It's going to be good regardless of who they got. But, yeah, great draft by the Seahawks. I think they're doing something. Drew Lock might take them to a playoff berth this year, but probably not.
Yeah. Philly obviously goes out and gets A.J. Brown. We've talked about it. And A.J. Brown put out this tweet, which I thought was really interesting. I love you, Tennessee, and you'll forever be in my heart. But I can say this now. This was not my fault. But I wish y'all the best. It's over. It's over. And I'm thrilled because we've been saying it all season on 302 Birds. If you guys aren't already, check out 302 Birds. Subscribe to them on YouTube. But the point is, A.J. Brown is the perfect complement for Devontae Smith. Drawn up to a T, everything that you could want in a perfect wide receiver complement. He's physical. He's still fast for his size. And when he's healthy, which give him an offseason, let him take some time, and he plays through injury a lot, he's going to be a stud. Somebody said the other day, and I heard it, this is the most exciting free agent acquisition that the Eagles have gotten since Terrell Owens, and I love that. I think it's the most exciting for me since we got Alshon Jeffrey. I remember how excited I was when Alshon Jeffrey came into town. The Philadelphia Eagles finally got a big-name free agent, physical wideout. That's my type of wideout, physical. This is huge. I'm so excited to watch this. Mike, you got the jersey on of a Philly legend. How are you feeling? Is A.J. Brown going to solidify himself as a Philly legend?
And Mike,
Hold
I
on,
can't
you're
hear you.
muted. You're muted.
Thanks for the great career, by the way, D-Jax. That's what I said when I was muted, at least. Yeah, I think he's retiring. He's rumored to be retiring, at least. This is awesome. This is the cherry on top. I was so on the fence about who is going to win the NFC East next year. We know that very rarely do teams win it back-to-back years. Usually something happens that leads to another team coming out of nowhere and winning the NFC East, and they don't win it back-to-back. The Dallas Cowboys have been losing everybody. It's like a freaking turnstile. All of their players are leaving. Lyle Collins, Connor Williams, Mari Cooper, Cedric Wilson, DeMarcus Lawrence is on his way out the door after this year. They're losing everybody. Meanwhile, the Eagles are adding Kaiser White, adding Hassan Reddick, keeping Fletcher Cox in town, keeping Brendan Graham around for one more run, somehow convincing Jason Kelsey, who basically had already retired, not to retire. They add A.J. Brown in the draft. They also got Jordan Davis in the draft. This Eagles defense is going to be good. The Eagles offense is still going to have one of the best running games in the NFL with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. And now they're going to have one of the best play action games with A.J. Brown, which is what his specialty is. Play action or run to the play action and play some defense, and the Eagles will win the East as long as they can stay healthy. That's the biggest deal right here is A.J. Brown staying healthy, Devonta Smith staying healthy, Jalen Hurts staying healthy.
How are we feeling about it, Jay?
Hey, man, Mike. Wasn't I telling you this? We had an NFC East whatever breakdown. I was saying this all the time. The Eagles are that team. The NFC East is trash. The Washington D.C. team is trash. You got the Cowboys are trash. We've seen that in the playoffs this year. The Giants are traditionally trash, but if Saquon can get healthy and Danny Dimes can get it together, and they got some great draft picks this year, they can maybe make it. I had them tied last year, winning first place, and I don't think they're going to tie this year. I think the Eagles are going to take it clean cut. I think the Giants will be close second, and the rest of the guys, I don't even care about the rest of those teams that are in that division because the Eagles are that team now. You got Jalen Hurts as a top 13 quarterback in the NFL. You got a solid defense. You got, you know what I'm saying, Miles Sanders is an underrated running back. And now you got A.J. Brown, who, I mean, I'm not going to call him a top 10 receiver right now, but he's the guy perfect for that system that's going to fit Devonta Smith and really going to make that offense pop more than it was because we just seen Jalen Hurts running around all game and the running backs running around all game. Now they have a passing game, I think. I really like, as long as Hurts can be accurate with the football, they're going to be a really good team. I think they might get out the wild card round this year, honestly. So do more than the Cowboys did.
No, this is going to be really, really, really fun to see in the NFC. But Cowboys aren't gonna win shit. My birds are winning the NFC, like you said. I'm really, really excited to see this, and I can say for the first time in a long time, I had that feeling that I have about my Philadelphia Eagles, just because the NFC East is empty, or even the NFC is empty. So I think that this is the perfect time, like you guys are saying. A lot of teams are, clearing out shop, not really adding guys. We're keeping guys. So I'm really, really excited to see this. The instant replay, thank you, man. That's really our show. I got one more thing that I want to show you guys before we hop off. Real quick. First off, I want to say thank you to NFL Mike for coming on the show.
Hey,
and also wearing an Eagles jersey. I mean, that's a good look on you, man. You should keep that on.
I need to get this off ASAP.
Hey, Dog. I want to ask one question. It's kind of like a question for someone else, but I want to ask you guys this question because we're debating this. Kyren Williams from Notre Dame got drafted, and like I said, someone said that's the biggest steal of the draft was Kyren Williams. I don't think he's going to make the team. He's saying that he's going to start over Cam Akers and over Darrell Henderson. Do you guys think that Kyren Williams is really that guy and the Rams have a top running back in it with that draft pick? Or do you think, like me, he may not even make the team? How do you guys feel?
They also have Sonny Michel. I mean,
So
they're drafting running back for a reason. He might make the team, but he isn't going to be the number one. They're going to do a rotation still. Who said that? Kyren Williams said that himself?
No, my boy Sargent was telling me.
Oh, I was about to say, that's not a great thing to say about your teammates. Like, hey, I'm just going to take all y'all spots, even though you just won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, he's saying that Cam's probably going to get, let go, traded, something.
So, I don't know.
Hey, we got Spillers. We got Spillers nasty. We don't need no one else.
You take his back to the next
Anyway, hey, these shirts are dope, though. Tell them about these shirts. My bad. I want to know Mike's opinion on there. But no, these shirts are dope. I got to get myself 3 or 4 of them. The tank tops are dope. The actual shirts, the colors. Show them the colors, man. That blue, That baby blue.
Oh, yeah. So we got the Carolina blue that I did special for my good friend Jay. I know deep down that he's a Tar Heels fan, so this shirt right here is for Jay. Classic up for debate with the logo looking nice. You guys can get the premium long sleeve tee in black, white. That looks clean. And yeah, support the brand, guys. These are pretty affordable too. They aren't too expensive. We've already sold 5 of these. That's pretty dope. And yeah, you can get these. I mean, these are pretty cool looking. And yeah, guys, support the brand. Check it out. Link is in the bio to the Up for Debate shop. 302 Bird Shop is up live too. Jay's going to get his merch in the mail. Should we do a Daredevil jacket, Jay? Is that what you're saying?
Let's go Tar Heels, baby!
Oh, get that shit off the screen. Come on, get that out of here.
The best North Carolina team in college basketball. Let's get it, North Carolina.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh, wait, my fault. These are the Blue Devils, not the Tar. My bad, dog. This is the wrong North Carolina team. I forgot about the other one. There's another one. That's right, with the other guy, the old guy.
Oh, my God. I'm tempted to go get my jersey out of the closet, but I won't. Real quick, I do want to thank somebody for coming on the show. NFL Mike, it's always a pleasure having you. Thanks for bringing your knowledge on the show. And without further ado,
applaud to you guys. You're a great host of the show.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Everybody have a good night. And peace.
Fly, Eagles fly.
Caw-caw, caw-caw. I knew we would convince you, Mike.